Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're shifting our attention to an entirely different issue that has to do with the delay in the 2018 budget passage. And joining us on the set now is our data and information analyst, Jide Ogunsanwo. Jide, you've been looking at how this has progressed and looking at the figures, to be specific. What did you find in the reasons why we're having this delay?
There are several reasons, Gimba, but let's look at history. Let's look at how it all started when the president laid this budget. In his first paragraph, what did he say? He had emphasized and was giving thanks to the senators for praying for him and for all Nigerians for praying for him while he was away on his medical vacation. And so, it clearly lets us understand that the budget had been in preparation mode even before the president went on medical vacation. The president came back, thanked the senators for medical vacation, presented the budget. Now, the president has gone back for medical vacation. The budget has still not been passed. That's just one way to look at it. Let's look at it from another perspective. Gimba, you cannot lose what you do not have. Right? You can't shed blood if you don't have blood in you. You cannot run if you do not have legs. Now, what does all of this mean? You cannot delay the passage of a budget if you do not have a budget. And so the most important question we should ask ourselves is, do we even have a budget? And the evidence shows, even though you and I are patriotic Nigerians, the statement of fact is, we really do not have a budget. What we have is chicken change.
But we have budget 2018, the budget of consolidation.
That is in the title, even though that seems to be the title that the government has given it. Why I say we don't have a budget and we have chicken change is, let's look at the countries that Nigerians are running to, the UK and the US. Between these two countries, there are 500,000 Nigerian migrants. The central bank tells us that we've got less than 100,000 Nigerians working in the Nigerian banking industry. So in simple terms, it lets you understand that for every Nigerian that is working in the bank today in Nigeria, you've got 5 Nigerians between the UK and the US. Why do I say this is chicken change? Let's look at the budget of the United States. Trump just presented a $4.4 trillion budget. Gimba, in simple terms, the budget of the United States is 13,000 naira per person per day. The budget of the United Kingdom is 16,000 naira per person per day. The Nigerian budget is only 120 naira per day. So, Nyota, if I owe you 120 naira, will you come and hold me by the throat?
It depends on what I need it for.
Perhaps. Perhaps. And so sometimes people also get upset that, oh, we shouldn't compare ourselves with the United States or the United Kingdom, that they are developed economies. So let's compare ourselves to South Africa. Their budget, 1.5 trillion rand for just 55 million people. The equivalent of 2,200 naira. Again, the Nigerian budget, 120 naira per day per person. And so when you look at these 3 economies, the UK, the US, South Africa, budgets that run into thousands per day per person. And the Nigerian budget that we say it's a budget that is only 120 naira per day. Is it really a budget that the passage or it being delayed, how much impact does it have? And so the real evidence is that if we want to be very firm, we will call it chicken change. No matter how patriotic or patriotic we want to be, let me make myself clear, Gimba. No matter what you do, no matter what you feed it, a chicken will never grow to become an elephant. And so we need to have that mindset. We need to dismantle what we are calling a budget, and we need to have an elephant of a budget. But as long as we believe this is a budget, no matter what you do, no matter what you feed it, a chicken will never, ever grow to become an elephant.
Well, so the budget is a function of ministries, agencies, governments at state levels to come up with their own respective budgets that culminate into that one big piece.
Again, it's the mindset. You said the budget, the petty cash. That is the right word. As long as we are stuck with this mindset that we've got an 8.6 trillion naira budget, without looking at how many people is this money sufficient for? Are these funds sufficient for the size of this economy? We need to understand history. In 1960, Nyota, when the United Kingdom left us, they had a population of 54 million. They were more than us in 1960. Ours was just 45 million. Within 57 years, within 59 years now, the United Kingdom has grown from a population of 54 million to 66 million. We've grown from 45 million to over 198 million. And so this 8.6 trillion naira, no matter how patriotic we want to be, it is not really a budget. It is chicken change. And so once we've set up that foundation that we know that no matter what we do, no matter what we call it, no matter what we feed it, a chicken will never grow to become an elephant. And we decide to go for an elephant size of a budget. We go for that project that allows the government to be able to improve the standard and quality of life of Nigerian youth. We wouldn't move far.
So the fact that according to you, this is more or less like chicken change, should it then be delayed?
So, good question, Nota. So we need to look at that and ask that, who is delaying the budget? That's the first question. The second is we should ask ourselves, does it make any sense in the penultimate year to an election for this to be delayed? Then the third question we should answer is, how does all of this affect you and I and the viewers? So to your question, who is delaying the budget? Now let's critically understand what is going on between the legislators and the executive. The evidence, the statement of fact today is 62% of House of Reps members belong to the ruling party, the APC. Statement of fact. Statement of fact is out of the 109 seats in the Senate, 63 belong to the APC. Statement of fact. All the cabinet members, all the ministers were appointed by President Buhari from the APC. Statement of fact. And so today, Nyota, to your question, if we have a country where the majority of House of Reps members are from the ruling party, the majority of the Senate are from the ruling party, and all appointees came through the president, and we cannot pass the budget, here's what it means. We've put a gun to our head, and we're about to commit suicide.
We'll know what happens next after that gun being pointed on the head after this break. Join us again. Welcome back. You're at that point where you're explaining that phenomenon of placing the gun to the head.
Oh yes, that's what we're about to do. We're about to commit suicide. If the party that controls the Congress, if the party that has appointed the executives, if between these two arms we can't find a solution to whatever you call it the budget, I call it chicken change, it is not moving. Listen carefully to this, Nyota. Apple, that's your phone there. It's the new one. Apple last year invested $46.4 billion in the firm. That is a statement of fact. $46.4 billion, the equivalent of 17 trillion naira, depending on what exchange rate you want to use. All arms of government, federal government, state government, all the 774 local governments we've got in this country, did not earn up to the amount of money Apple spent in investing in its firm. Are you comfortable still calling this budget a budget or petty cash? If you study, it's now over 2 centuries that America has been running the democracy. Here's what you find. A year to the election, there are only 3 things they do. It's either they lower corporate tax rates, the lower income tax rates, or they increase government spending. And that's because the evidence does show that elections are not won in the year of the election. It is won a year before the election. What happens in the year of election is a manifestation of what happened the year before. And so we'll be making a mistake if we feel that the results or what was happening in February next year is the election. It's going to be the manifestation of what this government has done this year. And so rather than do any of these 3, we are doing the opposite. What did the former president, Ogunsanwo, do in 2002? He seemed to have had some advisors from the US, because in 2002 was when the Nigerian economy grew the fastest, 14.6% per annum. Ever since then, we've never had such phenomenal growth. That's what happened in 2002. What happened in 2003? It was re-elected. What is happening today in 2018? Nothing close to that. Again, we're focusing on what we call a budget, when what we have is chicken change.
How does this affect the generality of our people?
Quite simple. When there's dichotomy instead of harmony, what it simply does is it affects the productivity of the Nigerian economy. And who is the Nigerian economy? The Nigerian economy are the youth. The evidence shows that 77% of Nigerians are below 35. And so once all of this dichotomy happens, instead of the government maximizing the opportunities available to the youth, the government is maximizing the risks that are inherent in the system. Look at Israel, Inota. They have passed their 2019 budget. In February, the second week of February, February 12th, Donald Trump presented the 2019 budget to National Congress. While Trump was presenting his budget to National Congress on the week of February 12th, we were being passed the uni-made lecturers that had been held captive by Boko Haram. 2 different narratives. The country, the leader is passing the budget, we are being passed captives. Again, in the final analysis, Gimba, no matter what you do, no matter what you feed it, the chicken will never grow to become an elephant.
That's a good place to end it. Babajide Ogunsanwo, our data information analyst, looking at the delayed process of the 2018 budget passage. But we're expecting it to be passed by next week, according to the National Assembly. But that's where we leave the program. This day, it's Friday. I want to thank everyone for being a part of the show. I am Gimba Omar, and have a great weekend.
I'm Neota Egbe. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm Ajuri Ingilale.